quotes. It sounds like I'm saying I don't really trust the experts because I don't.
Okay, Nick Langworthy is the chairman of the New York State Republican State Committee. He's joining us now. Our panelists are here too. This hour, we have former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. We also have Rick Green, the founder of PatriotAcademy.com. Good to see all of you here. Nick, talk to me about what we've seen here. The officials leaving, as many as 9 so far. Then you've got Governor Cuomo calling them experts in quotes, basically saying he doesn't trust the experts, and he repeated it again.
Well, this is Andrew Cuomo in a nutshell. He's a notorious micromanager, someone that thinks he's the smartest person to ever serve as governor of our state. There's stories out there that he's gone as far as to personally choose the color of subway platform tiles. That's the kind of guy that Andrew Cuomo is. That's what he is in the government. And that's why you have people that have resigned from the health department. You also have an element there that they wanted to leave because what was happening there was very unsavory. And what has been revealed by the report by the New York State Attorney General shows that the narrative that Andrew Cuomo has created with a book and declaring himself a hero of the COVID crisis, it's all fake, it's false, it's fiction. And the truth is New York leads the country in coronavirus deaths. We lead the country in nursing home deaths. And his administration has killed more businesses and jobs. New York has a very dark future under his leadership.
Nick, I'm just confused. So does New York State now, New York does not care about the science? Did we not care about following the experts? He's supposed to lead the state for his people that live here. Where are we today with that?
This is a governor that's more drunk with his own publicity than he cares about the public policy. He hasn't made the decisions that are right for the taxpayers. He's made the decisions that are right to keep him front and center on people's television screens all day. He has usurped all powers of New York State government, emergency powers that we desperately need those Democratic legislative leaders to return back to a democracy. But he's a dictator. He controls everything. These health, last year we saw a whitewash report come out of his own health department, which is an arm of his office. It is not an independent agency in New York. They absolved him in his decision-making of any of this blame when it comes to it. Andrew Cuomo can't accept the blame, and that's why he's now saying not to trust the experts, even though his science is what said we must, shut down indoor dining, even though 1.4% of all infection rates in New York State had something to do with dining. I mean, this is a guy that is he's contradictory on a daily basis. He changes the rules when they don't fit his current personal narrative. And we have to, as a Republican Party, be prepared to replace him in the next election, because that's the only way we're going to change New York.
Let me get someone that knows exactly what's going on as far as being a governor, Governor Scott Walker. I've got to get your thoughts on this and what you're seeing of, it seems as if, the cat's out of the bag. Instead of just apologizing for anything or what happened with the nursing home deaths or saying, well, we trust he's actually going the opposite way and sort of just bucking back. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, Governor Andrew Cuomo is absolutely a fraud and a failure. Nick's exactly right. He's a fraud in the sense that he was hyping how well he handled this, and yet the Attorney General's office, led by a Democrat, by the way, a pretty radical Democrat, spelled out very clearly that they underrepresented the deaths at nursing homes by about 50%. And on top of that, he's just an absolute failure. You see the numbers throughout this pandemic. New York and New Jersey have led the way, sadly, when it comes to the percentage of deaths per 100,000 citizens. And so the media, the book reading public, and others shouldn't be looking at him for answers. They should be looking at for things not to do. And it's a great case study between red states and blue states. You see places like Florida, Texas, West Virginia, North and South Dakota, all those states led by Republican governors, they're getting the job done. We need the job done in New York State as well.
If we can, I want to re-rack that shot that we played off the top. Okay, this is CNN's Dr. Sanjay Gupta. Even he was shocked. Watch this.
I'm really quite stunned that that's what he said, and I'm curious to talk to him and understand, clarify that a bit. I mean, it is true that New York has had success. They had terrible numbers, I mean, in the spring of last year, but were able to bring those numbers under control. A lot of that was because of the experts and because of sort of carrying through on plans.
So, Rick Green, your thoughts on that? Because even CNN pointing out they don't understand what's happening with Governor Cuomo and what's happened recently.
Well, this is exactly what we should expect whenever we ignore Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution, which guarantees us to be a republic in every state. We've got dictators running these states, and Cuomo has enjoyed his dictatorship for the last 9 months, doing whatever he wanted to do without any accountability to anyone. Anytime you give anybody that kind of power, it's going to run amok, and now he's even admitting that he doesn't care what the experts think. It's whatever he decides. Now imagine if Donald Trump or if a Republican governor had said, I don't care what the experts think, or I don't trust the experts, I'm going to do what I think is best. They would have been run out of town. But he's able to get away with it as a Democrat that the media has continued to protect, despite what a lousy job, as Scott said, that he's done in that state. But Nick's right. He's been acting like a dictator, and the people in New York need to hold him accountable.
All right, we're out of time. Great conversation. That is Nick Langworthy joining us live. Nick, thank you so much for your time. Scott, Rick, please stick around. A lot more to cover.
Still to come.